rapper, no name having looking ragged lame rapper, you nut hugger butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that, my real friends call me Asher. Laughter, what kind of name is that?
What's up, bitches and hoes? Welcome to the season finale of 13 Minutes. I'm your host, Paul Goon, and this week's guests are the members of the Bees fucking Trees.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Alright guys, well, we start every episode the same way, which is first, middle, last name, and position in the band, go through a line. We're getting personal.
Leave me in Jones, I play guitar, I sing.
Brendan Michael Burke, I play bass and I sing.
I am Aaron Joseph Collins, the saxophone.
Michael James Landgraf Jr., I play the drums.
We got the
Man,
at least I remember my
those are
name.
some of the best introductions I think I've... Those are the best introductions I've ever heard on the show. When did the Bees Trees start? I know it started when you were in high school and shit. Give it to me.
July of 2011.
That was it?
That was it.
And this ain't the original lineup. You're the only surviving member.
He was actually in the lineup.
You were in it and you came back.
Hiatus out and returned.
Is he
Like
one of-
Gandalf the
What kind, when you say
Grey, the
hiatus,
White.
when you say hiatus, I'm winking off camera. Is it one of those hiatuses, or did he take the hiatus?
He Lane took the hiatus.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, the Bees Trees continued. We had
It's hard to
three
survive in the
member
Bees Trees.
changes.
This is like fucking Survivor.
No, man. No, this is it. This is the lineup right here.
I like
That's a
this,
fact.
and I do like this lineup, by the way.
Yeah.
Compared
That's a
to
fact.
past lineups.
Yeah, man.
If I might say so myself. I just know that the Bees Trees seems to be like a really well-run fucking business. Not only do you guys like give out great grooves and jams, you know what I mean? Because the music's amazing, but like the Bees Trees seem so much more like you could see it business-oriented than other bands where you just pretty much see them go perform whatever. Like when I see the way you guys interact with each other, interact online, when I talk to him, you know what I mean? It's like Bees Trees is like such a well-oiled machine, and you guys can jam.
Thanks, buddy.
It's
Thanks.
it's really weird to watch. It's
William
interesting.
Jones.
No, that's everybody. That's a commitment thing. I mean, we have.
Well, yeah, if you can get down with him, it's everybody. It's not just
Yeah.
you know.
And like that, and that's like honestly what brought me back to this. You know what I mean? Was really just the drive that exists here, and just the desire to like take it farther, and the willingness to do the work that takes. So we're trying to be professional about it, like musically and off too, so we can take it as far as we can. So
I think the two key words were drive and professionals. I mean, it really is. It's something else. You know what I mean? It's not, and especially because like you guys tour all around the country. Wow, that just like I have to like say that flows so well into my
That was
next
beautiful,
comment.
man. I love
That really was coming up next. I didn't have to skip anything. But you guys do a lot of touring around the country, though. Now you have this Colorado tour every year. I see you went down to Florida this year, right, for the
Yeah.
first time. You know, so like specifically the Colorado tour, but whatever. I want to hear about it. You know, tell me about this shit. Where do you guys go? Like, what's your, you know, whatever. Just tell me about this touring shit. You guys do a lot more.
We've kind of made a connection in Colorado. So we did 2 tours this past summer and in August. So it was kind of like
You did 2 Colorado tours.
yeah, we did 2 separate ones. One in May,
Nice.
one in August.
Okay.
And we're starting to grow there, and it's kind of like we need to go back there as much as possible. The reason why we're not playing there over the winter is obviously the weather thing. You know,
Driving.
we're still with a big old
Yeah.
bunky van. We
Yeah.
can't go up the mountains in the snow.
The famous Bees Trees van. People
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
People know what it is.
Beehive.
It's been all over the country, but we try to keep
Yeah.
it away from the mountains and the snow as much as possible. So we're going to be back there in potentially March and May, at least May, this coming year.
Do you find any coordination between the legalization of recreational marijuana in Colorado and the rise of the Bees Trees popularity in Colorado?
I don't think so personally. I think it's the music scene and the population.
Oh, so
is
they have
growing.
it's good out there. It's
Oh,
fun.
They
man.
have an incredible music scene. People are so willing to go see live music there. It's awesome.
I
Every-
like the sound
every
of
place we
that.
play there,
So
people
basically,
jam into
we
it.
should all just pack up and move to Colorado.
100%.
I will say, I think what you were talking about leads more like just creative types to move to those kind of places, so that might lead towards just being a bigger live original music scene
Yeah.
in general.
Just more of like the free spirit type, maybe.
And more people that are looking for non-top 40 music.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
fuck
saying?
top 40.
So,
I
you know,
I couldn't
teach
agree
their
with that
own.
more. Nobody's looking for that in this room, right?
Nah, I mean, you know, teach their own. I like jamming.
So since we're still talking about this, hometown or out of town?
That's
You're not
tough.
gonna hurt anybody's feelings.
Oh, that's
Nobody knows
tough.
town's gonna be
It's
sad.
like nothing like playing in a hometown. I mean, we're from Pittsburgh, but going to school in Youngstown, it's always cool to like, play with your friends.
Oh, so you guys go to YSU then? That's
Yeah,
the
we
connection,
go.
kind of. Okay.
That's how. You
Yeah,
hook up with a band,
yeah, that's
really,
definitely how
honestly.
it formulated for
Yeah.
us.
Okay, cool, very cool.
But it's just always cool to be able to see familiar faces in the crowd and like watch them enjoy it too, instead of just whoever's there.
Yeah, it's good to reel it back in like that, but I think they'd all be lying to say that we don't like hitting the road and exploring new places and playing new venues and playing new crowds. That's real exhilarating to me, as well as the hometown shows. I love the hometown shows.
No, there's nothing like getting in the van, just going.
You guys get funky in that van?
Yes.
Why don't you guys film the Beach Trees Adventures? You know what I mean?
We should.
We
We
didn't
talked
realize
about
that
It's
could
been
be, you guys
talked
could capitalize.
I'm
on
gonna
this
be
right
real with you. Our van is usually too messy. There
Yeah.
will be a lot of cleaning necessary.
Men,
for some
women,
live
children across the
performances.
country would be crying tears if they saw these videos of just the absolute
I've been
disarray.
inside the van. It's not even that.
We
Come on, man.
guys
Don't
know-
lie- don't
show
lie to
them
the camera.
beers at
Maybe
that
we
show
can do
after.
part 2 in the van.
That girl dumped me like a week after that was so funny.
You know,
I remember Lady was like, wait, that girl that you were just with? And I was like, yeah. He was like, gee, I just saw you with her. Yeah, she dumped me. Like, so. UFC or boxing?
Boxing.
Yeah, that's an individual answer one here. I want all of them.
Boxing.
I'd have to go UFC.
Or not even UFC. I should have said MMA. Pardon my French. That was disgusting. I should really honestly cut my tongue off for even phrasing it like that.
Hey man,
MMA or boxing? My goodness.
I'd say MMA.
Okay.
I would definitely say MMA too.
MMA, Conor McGregor, baby.
That's why you like that.
Iron.
Just telling you.
Okay.
Man.
Kiss
I don't
an
even
old
wanna
soul here.
I don't even want to talk about McGregor, honestly. I mean, oh, fuck him. Fuck him.
Hey, hey, come here, laddie. No, I'm just kidding.
Another one where like we could definitely give individual answers would be favorite memory as the Beach Trees and
Start over there. Start over there.
least favorite memory as the Beach Trees.
Ooh, start over there, boy.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Alright.
Because I know with this band, least favorite memory, and also maybe favorite memory could be just so great.
Alright.
Give it to him.
Favorite memory. I think my favorite memory was honestly the August Colorado tour as a whole. Like we played 12 straight days, you know, all over the state, and I feel like this lineup really bonded over that whole experience, and I thought that was awesome. I can't really pick out one moment. If I had to pick out one, it would be the Lupita show, the last day for myself. That scenery is just
Oak
awesome.
Creek. Yeah.
Yeah, Oak Creek. You can find pictures of that on our Facebook. Least favorite memory.
Oh boy.
Ooh. All right. And I'm just going to say a show name, and then we're going to move on. It was the Tree Huggers Ball 2012 was my least favorite memory. And it was not even the show or the venue. It was just
Situational.
events surrounding that.
Situational.
When you go on the road, sometimes crazy shit happens. And crazy
Next,
shit happens.
Aaron Collins.
Favorite memory's gotta be first gig. We played at the Agora.
Nice. Ooh.
Winter
Dude, that could be your best answer.
Don't talk over each other, Liam.
Why? I only want to know about the worst part. Why?
It was just after the gig. Minor van difficulties. It's all I'll leave it at that.
We got hit by a bus.
Yeah, straight up.
That's the kind of
Downtown
stuff.
Cleveland.
It was a big white van.
Hmm? Oh, that was good.
Oh, motherfucker.
I forgot about the time that I drove down a one-way road the wrong way in Cleveland. That could have been my worst memory.
Oh, wow.
Ingenuity Fest. You remember
Yeah.
that?
You'd be surprised how many times it's happened. No.
That kind of got me hooked.
It was the one time it happened that I was driving. So
Yeah, some old members did that a couple
So there's
times.
a reason why you're just not even allowed to drive at this point.
He's like
We kind of limit him as much as possible.
straight roads.
Favorite memory?
I'm too aggressive.
Favorite
Baby
memory?
Burke's our king driver
man.
over here, man.
Yeah, I think both of my memories involve driving. I don't even know if they'd be so. All right, I think my favorite memory is our last tour when we left Colorado. I was driving through Wyoming as soon as we left, and everyone was asleep. And I was driving through a really big thunderstorm. There wasn't any rain, but there was like lightning everywhere. And there was like a lightning strike off to our right. It was like 50 miles away, and there was a huge tornado that like was lit up by the lightning.
So you're like a storm chaser.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I definitely didn't want to go after it, but it was so cool seeing it. Everyone was asleep, and I was like, I don't know if I should wake them up and tell them, or if I should just like keep driving. But
The best part of that whole thing is I'm talking about how I want to see a tornado the whole time. These assholes are like, oh, no, you don't. Da, da, da. And then Bert gets to see it, and I was passed out, so jealous of you.
I'd say I wouldn't even call it like my least favorite memory, but it's probably my worst memory. Our first tour at Colorado, we played at Durango, and we had to drive 2 hours after that gig to get to the place we were staying, and I was the only person that was not blacked out. Everyone was so unbelievably drunk, and I'm just driving the van dealing with everyone yelling at each other, and it was good yelling, but it was just, everyone was just trying to speak over each other, and they were so drunk that they didn't realize, and so that was good.
Hey,
Stop
it was so
Like
good.
chaos.
Oh, yeah.
You're the guy in charge.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah, we stopped to look at stars in the middle of nowhere.
We stopped in the middle.
Apparently I didn't like that.
No, Liam thought like
Yeah.
aliens were coming. Or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, I'm gonna start with my worst. So, we played this festival in West Virginia called Pink Moon Festival, and the festival was cool and everything about that was fine. But we took the van on the side of the mountain. I think it was called like Camp Rock, West Virginia, and we were told to go to the particular parking where artists go. Okay, so we go up this mountain. We got stuck sideways on a real, I mean, it was our fault. We should have known, like, let's not go up this mountain. But we needed multiple people to help shimmy us out of this position. So our wheels, because it was all bad. So
Who was driving at this point? You.
someone else was driving, I took over. I'm not like a great driver or anything, but I'm usually like the guy that does like the parallel parking in the big cities and like the weird parking spots. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, so
Definitely,
Liam can do
definitely.
like the little, like really hard stuff, but when it comes to like just falling, it's like shit.
No, yeah, that's our going joke. Liam, never has Liam taken a drive in the van that he didn't miss a turn. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, that is what it is.
But we can,
Unfortunately,
like,
that's a fact.
He'll drive up straight rocks and mud in a mountain, but you can't turn right when the GPS tells you to.
You're right.
doesn't matter how far we are from the gig, how close we are.
No, I make sure I pull one off of the trip.
Find a way.
Remember Stanton, Virginia, 10-minute drive
Bad.
from the hotel to the gig, and you turned wrong, made the wrong turn the first one. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. We threw
It's
you
alright.
down.
Threw you off the
We
way.
really-
I got thrown into the beach.
Hey, man.
Close enough for me.
I would say my best memory was actually when you were in the band before in 2012. There's a few memories. I'm going to give a couple of them. But the first one, we're playing at Nelson's Ledges for, I think, Spring Hookah. It was like our second or third
Yeah.
time at the Ledges.
This was a great.
And we
show.
played the very first slot. I think it was like noon on a Saturday. And we start playing maybe our first 2 or 3 songs. There was like our friends and stuff, maybe 10 people in front of us. This was 2012. By the end of the set, people were literally like jogging to the stage. Like, and hundreds of people were gathering around the stage. So it was kind of cool just to see.
Encore.
I wish we could have, like, if we were smart enough to take a picture at the beginning, like, yo, take a picture of this as it stands. An hour later, boom, it's big.
Yeah.
And then I would say part 2 of my favorite memories would be just the fact that we've been able to go out to Colorado. We've really started to grow a following in Denver. And I would say there's a couple bars there that we really made some good memories at, made some fans.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 top.
Good. I'm glad to
Memories.
hear that shit. That sounds Man, so
Spring
badass.
Hookah. That was
That was fun, man.
I'm upset I didn't think of that one. That was awesome.
You guys have your own internet domain, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
TheBeastTrees.com, is that it?
Yeah.
Facts.
Plain and simple.
All right, because a lot of people they can't get what they want. It's hard. There's so many names taken and shit.
Right.
You have to add random numbers.
You'd be
or letters.
surprised. People will get like offers like to sell it for like $1,000 or something, and I always will just pitch right back. Yeah, 100,000, and then just never get an email back. I'm obviously I'm not trying to sell it. I don't even think I'd sell it for that. But the point being is, it's crazy nowadays how people want domains. They're a commodity. People want them, man.
Somebody offered you $100,000 for it.
No, I mean, I'd be like,
Liam would be like, listen, guys, the Beast Trees was cool, but we need a new name.
no, we're beastrees.net. Cha-ching.
Yeah, we'd get a big ass camper and call it a day.
How do you write the music that you write?
Nowadays, this lineup has been very fruitful. We write songs when we practice. Like, he might start with a bass line, he might start with a groove, he might start with a melody on the sax, I might start with some chords or a lyric. Boom.
Yeah,
It just seems like there's a lot going on. It's real intricate to watch you guys. You know, when I watch you guys perform, that's basically what I'm thinking the whole time is how do you start writing songs like this? It's real exciting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. It's like so.
It's a collective, really. It's just like someone, like Liam said, someone brings something and everyone builds on it, like brings what they want to it, and then it just kind of mold it from there. And like just be honest with each other. What sounds good, what doesn't. Go from there. And lately, I mean, we've been churning out some new stuff.
Yeah, it's been
pretty
fruitful.
great.
It seems like every practice we come up with a new idea.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So does that mean that there's like new Beast Trees music afoot?
Yes.
When can people expect the next new?
We're gonna do a couple tracks that'll probably be released maybe one in January, maybe two
Couple
in
singles.
January.
Cool.
And then we're gonna be doing things more in that nature to kind of line up with the trends of today as far as that goes.
The trends of today.
Yeah, we used to do albums, but I think nowadays it's better to get more content out as fast as possible rather than build up and make a 10 or 12 song album. Let's shoot out.
Keep yourselves relevant in the scene, in the faces.
That's a good way to put it, dude.
And at the same time, sometimes I feel like when it's like, oh, let's make an album, especially for bands like us that we don't have this budget to go like, let's take a year off and like write and record a new album.
Yeah.
Sometimes like it's just the pressure of like, let's record 10 songs. So like if we let's record 2 or 3 that we're really ready for it, take our time with it and put out something awesome. You know
It
what
kind
I
of
mean?
just runs its natural course that way if you're putting it out song by song in a way.
Yeah, and eventually we'll do album stuff again. But just for us right now, I think, in especially at the rapid rate that this lineup has been evolving, like one of my favorite new Beast Trees tracks that nobody around Youngstown has heard yet, like it got written at a show, like from us jamming, and Liam just started randomly singing,
Oh, and you're like, you guys remember that?
like day 8 of 12 on tour.
Yeah, that's Colorado from there.
Yeah.
Our sound guy, Chris, he was like, oh, fuck yeah, boys.
He recorded our set that day, and Liam had like just been randomly singing some words like happened.
And you can see how it evolves. Like that's it starts day 8, day 9 we had a part, day 10 we might not play, day 11 we had 2 parts, and then a month later the song's finished because we have a couple rehearsals. And
That's pretty badass. That's really like
it is kind of fun.
Just kind of like
Yeah.
It's really because I think that a lot of people, if they talk about experiencing writer's block or something, it's maybe because they're forcing themselves, maybe because the writing's not ready to be written.
We really try not to force ourselves at all. We definitely as soon as the ideas come into our head and as soon as it starts flowing, we'll build it. We really try not to pressure ourselves into, we need to write like this or this, anything like that.
That's a really natural process. I like that a lot. What are your guys' individual music influences? I don't want to know like where's the Beast Trees influence come from, because you could compare them to this and that, whatever. Like what?
How should we do
Brought
this?
you guys to become musicians?
You want to
I don't
maybe
give a shit down the line. Doesn't even
5 artists,
1,
a
2,
man or
5, 10 million.
You pick a Goon.
Just give a couple, whatever.
Alright, so my 5 would probably be artists such as Neil Young,
Oh, one of my
Steely
favorites.
Dan,
We're gonna talk about Neil Young after we go around here. Just because now.
Jack Johnson, Animal Liberation Orchestra, otherwise known as ALO, and my fifth. I'm going to let's do four.
You're the one that. Yeah, you wanted 5, so good. Now
I thought enough.
I'd say my biggest, definitely growing up anyways, is Pink Floyd.
Yeah, nice.
Lots of classic rock. That's what my dad kind of put me on.
But what kind of
growing
Floyd?
up.
You know, there's so much different, like, where you at here, album-wise, or...
Honestly, like, I like it all. Their old stuff is just so weird and so strange. I love it.
With a lot of bands, it is. The oldest stuff is always
Yeah.
real. When you find that old shit, it's so weird, it's better every time.
Yeah.
I really get down to their more popular albums too, like Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, you
those
can't go
ones,
wrong with
but-
this, though. Not at all.
Yeah, definitely like a huge classic rock influence for me, and then mixing in jazz. Listen to a lot of jazz too, so that really helps.
I got a few strange ones. I mean, anywhere from like the Eagles to
That's another good. I love
Yeah.
the Eagles.
my parents were cool, so that's why I like the Eagles. And I mean, jazz players like Sanborn, not Kenny G. At all. Who else? My parents listen to Kenny Blake, and like he's a Pittsburgh Jazzer, and I always liked him. Who else? New guys, Kamasi Washington, Clarence Clemens from Bruce Springsteen. I mean, really anything across the board. A few clarinet players.
Oh, yeah, that... What's it called? The Easy Street Band or
Yeah,
something? Bruce
Easy
Springsteen?
Street Band.
Easy Street Band, yeah. They're way better than he
Oh,
is.
man,
If they
so-
took him out, it's like Rush.
Jeez.
If
He
they took out, if Rush took out, I talk about this like almost every fucking episode too, I swear to God. If
Right.
Rush took out Geddy Lee, like, oh, we would be in such a better boat.
Well, I mean, Neil Peart's great, though. Oh, you mean like take out Geddy Lee?
Yeah, if we get rid of the singing in Rush, the band becomes a much better band. Bruce Springsteen, the instrumentalist behind him,
Yeah.
them motherfuckers rock the fuck out, and then he's just like,
He writes some great tunes, though. That
I mean, no, he's a good writer, but some people, they don't connect, man, and him hurts my ears and shit. What do you got for us,
I
Laney?
feel that. Man, I feel like throughout my life I've went through like a bunch of different influences. So like back to like when I first started playing, I'd say probably like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and like Chad Smith's drumming specifically was like the first drummer that I really like
Will
connected
Ferrell.
with. Yeah,
He's a good drummer.
As I've evolved, I think my biggest influences come from like a lot of like soul music. So like stuff, you know, like James Brown, like you know, the Jackson 5, stuff like that. So like old school stuff like that. I love Steve Jordan and the John Mayer Trio, stuff like that. So
Yeah, there you go. Those are all good answers.
Forgot to mention this. Speaking for all of us, Grateful Dead.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
for sure.
I was gonna add two ridiculously different bands.
Fish.
I was gonna say Rage Against the Machine was a big part of my beginnings musically.
Me as well. So
as well as String Cheese Incident. So that's pretty much
Yeah.
a crazy spectrum.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you
Fish
want.
rocks.
When you find out that when you find out that people are inspired by bands that really kind of don't sound like them at all and shit, that's the best because you knew that they drew that's a genuine influence draw. It's not
Right.
just some, well, my band sounds like that, so I could throw that answer out there or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I click on your guys' Facebook, I see this big picture that says "Experience the Buzz." That's like your fucking catchphrase or whatever.
Hell yeah.
How can people experience the buzz?
You gotta come to shows. We play a ton of shows. You know, that's as simple as it gets. Go
I
to
mean,
the
you guys
website.
have music everywhere though.
Yeah,
too. In
everywhere.
case they're like me and they work every fucking weekend late and they can't make it to shows. What about the internet? You guys are like everywhere. You have 3 albums out, don't you? 3
Yeah.
full albums?
iTunes,
Yeah.
Spotify, SoundCloud,
Spotify, Bandcamp.
YouTube.
Yeah, we have
What are
some
the
stuff
3
on
albums
YouTube,
called?
too.
Loch Ness Monster was the most recent. What's the Buzz was our first, and Roots. was
Roots?
our
Okay, yeah, they're all
sophomore
good.
release.
All bangers, as the children would say.
Bang bang a skeet skeet.
Bangers.
Dave.
What's your favorite song to play live?
Pieces.
Ooh.
That could be individual or group. Because you guys, like I said, it's so fun and exciting to watch you guys live. So, like, what's fun for you guys?
I agree with you. Pieces is my favorite song.
Pieces is a
Pieces,
good
I
one.
don't know. I also I really dig the we've got a new song that needs a name, but the new calypso-y kind of jam. If you come to our hometown show next week, you will see us.
The Thanksgiving show.
Yes.
I wanted to hear about it. Actually, that's one of the topics on the list here. What when is it? Where is it? Give the rundown on the Thanksgiving show.
Next Wednesday, 9 o'clock at Susie's in downtown Youngstown.
I actually think I'm off next Wednesday. Wow,
Oh,
I think
you
just
should be there, dude.
that is so great. Because you know, people. That's the thing. People love Beach Trees Youngstown. People love when you guys do the hump.
They don't get silly, man.
You know what?
I mean, I had to wait. I think from when I became a Beach Trees fan, it took me 3 or 4 years, I think, till I finally got to see a Beach Trees show. First time was at Susie's downtown. You know what I mean? And I was like so fucking hyped. And like, now I've seen like I think 2 or 3 other ones since then. But man, you know, so you guys have that great Youngstown. You guys are one of the more popular bands in Youngstown. You guys are competing next one. I feel like at least.
Thank you.
That's pretty badass. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh man, start with Liam.
Woo!
I'm
See,
ready.
my thing is I would like a lot of superpowers. You know, to increase productivity, mainly.
Liam,
So
you can't ask for more wishes.
basically, I want like 2 of me. So I want to be able to split off into 2. Do a task A, do a task B.
Just 2?
Well,
Do you think people
listen,
can
I want to
deal
be
with
reasonable
more
with
than
this.
one of you? Do you honestly believe that?
I think
No.
I don't.
What did
You can use that power to fucking like annoy people pretty much. And I'm not saying
I do it with one person.
And I'm not saying you're annoying, but you know, dude, if
I do it
could
with one
split
man.
off-
I said I do it as just one man. Imagine
Oh.
2 of me.
I thought you said you would annoy one man, because I'm saying if I could split off, I would probably use it to fuck with people, just piss people off.
Yeah.
What I already do.
No, I'd send Liam B to do some.
Liam B. He already has
Ridiculous
something's
things.
going on here. He already got something.
Liam A, Liam B.
Liam B would just
All
book
right,
shows
this is fucking like
24/7.
suspicious.
He just
Let's
like
get it
I'm
down the line.
All
Here.
right,
Are you ready? I'm about to beat all of you. Telekinesis. I've thought about this for a very long time. So with this, I'd be able to do like anything that I wanted. Because you can bend light waves basically. So you can like make people see whatever you want. You could like bend matter. So you could like fly. Like you could do whatever you wanted basically. It's like the ultimate superpower. So go ahead. Good luck finding
Next.
that one, man.
Wow. One superpower.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. I had a whole good one. And then
I'd have to say, like, being able to. I don't even know, man. I've never thought.
Being
of
able to come up with a
that.
superpower.
Yeah, that would be a good start. But I don't know. I mean,
I wish
being
for
able to
more
breathe
wishes.
infinitely would be a good one for me.
Breathe infinitely.
Yeah, anywhere.
Oh, so you'd be like super sax, man.
Yeah, like playing sax underwater, playing it like anywhere.
So you could like seduce
okay.
mermaids and fish and stuff. Oh man, dude, that sounds better than ever. Kenny G could fucking suck it, right?
Yeah, spot on.
I'd like to never have to sleep. Like for
You
real.
don't.
I mean, I
You
sleep.
literally don't.
I sleep.
Just so
3
everybody
hours
knows.
a night.
Let's clear this up. When we're on the road, everyone needs their sleep, okay? This man needs the most sleep. These 2 men probably need about the similar amount of sleep. He is a freaking robot that sleeps 2 hours in his life. Like, you guys ready to leave yet? You ready to do this? And I'm like, dude, we still have like 3 hours to it. We can sleep in, man, please.
I do wake up early.
Like, but don't want to do this.
My last question here, the most important question of the interview is: are you more of a bee or more of a tree? Go down the line.
I gotta go with tree. I'm tall and I'm allergic to bees. So that is kind of awkward.
I'm a tree. Very obvious reasons. I like that.
I'm definitely a B for sure.
I'm a bee because I'm ready to sting Goon.
Wow, what a great fucking episode!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
What a good ass episode.
we're
30
thankful to be
minutes.
on Paul Goon's 13 minutes.
For sure. Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
us,
brother.
man.
No, I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Woo, season 12 in 13 minutes. Goon. This is 13 minutes. These are the Beast Trees. This is the season finale. We will see you guys next season.
No name having looking ragged lame rapper. You nut hugger, butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that. My real friends call me Asher. Laughter. What kind of name is that, bro, dude? It's so stupid. I bet you're in a frat or two.